In the early hours of July 8, 2018, 40-year-old Rye Daniel Wardlaw forced his way into a business tucked inside a quiet Vancouver strip mall. Believing he had the location completely to himself, Wardlaw settled right in. He grabbed a can of beer from the fridge, snagged a television remote, and wandered into an unlit back room to enjoy the spoils of his break-in. He had made a severe miscalculation about his environment. He had broken into the Northwest Escape experience. When he mangled the back door to get inside, he destroyed the only exit he knew how to use. He was now locked inside a puzzle room with absolutely no idea how to solve it. In total panic, the trapped burglar resorted to the only option left. He pulled out his phone and dialed 911, asking the police to please come rescue him from his own crime scene. Every successful crime relies on a specific imbalance. The perpetrator must hold more information than the target. They weigh the obvious risks against potential rewards, but rarely account for the invisible weight of what they simply do not know. We are going to examine cases where that illusion shatters. We will look at what happens when predators operate on bad intel and unwittingly trigger traps set by targets far more capable than they appear. Human beings rely heavily on visual shortcuts. We tend to glance at advanced age or a quiet demeanor, automatically equating those traits with physical weakness. In November 2019, a man in Rochester, New York, banked on that exact assumption. Late at night, he smashed through the front door of 82-year-old Willie Murphy's home, expecting to easily overpower a small, isolated elderly woman. What he failed to spot in the dark was that Murphy was the 2014 World Natural Powerlifting Federation Lifter of the Year. She trained regularly at her local YMCA and was fully capable of deadlifting 225 pounds. With the lights off, Murphy ambushed him. She smashed a table over his body so hard the wood splintered. While he was down, she poured an entire bottle of shampoo directly into his face, grabbed a metal broom, and battered him until police arrived to cart him away. This visual bias extends to environments, too. In June 2016, 2 armed men walked into a quiet McDonald's in eastern France, fired a shotgun at the ceiling, and demanded the registers be emptied. They assumed they held total authority over a room full of terrified civilians. In reality, 11 of the 40 customers quietly eating their burgers were off-duty members of the GIGN, an elite anti-terror special forces unit. The officers patiently waited for the heist to finish to avoid putting anyone in crossfire, then cornered and neutralized the 2 men the moment they tried to flee. Trusting a superficial glance is a reliable way to pick a fight with an opponent you have no business engaging. The miscalculation worsens when criminals assume physical possession of an object grants them control over it. Sometimes the consequence is immediate physical danger. A thief in Sydney quickly learned this when he snatched a canvas bag from the passenger seat of a parked car, unaware it belonged to a snake handler and contained a live, highly venomous red-bellied black snake. The digital world offers a much longer, more humiliating trap. When a man stole an iPhone from a German tourist skinny dipping in Ibiza, he made a catastrophic technical error. He failed to disable the device's automatic cloud upload feature. The victim simply logged into her account and watched in real time as every photo the thief took of himself uploaded to her storage. She turned those images into a viral Tumblr blog, passively broadcasting his daily life in Dubai to thousands of laughing strangers while he remained completely oblivious. Active digital traps are far more invasive. In 2010, a thief broke into an apartment and walked away with a laptop belonging to a professional cybersecurity expert known as Zaz. Zaz had remote access security software hard-coded into his machine. The second the thief connected to the internet, Zaz began silently monitoring his screen, logging keystrokes, reading emails, and watching his webcam. By watching him browse dating sites, Zaz pinpointed his exact address, handing a dossier to the police for a swift raid. Taking hardware from someone who truly understands networks creates a self-inflicted trap. It ensures you carry a digital Trojan horse directly into your own living room. Physical strength and technical traps can be devastating, but the highest stakes miscalculation occurs when an attacker fails to account for a target's unique biology or psychological fortitude. Between 1944 and 1949, John George Haig believed he had engineered a foolproof method of murder. He killed at least 5 people and dissolved their bodies entirely in vats of sulfuric acid, confident that without a body he could never be caught. He lacked basic chemical foresight. When he murdered wealthy widow Olive Duran Deacon, he dumped the resulting sludge into his yard. Investigators combing the property found her complete set of upper dentures. The acrylic material perfectly resisted the acid, providing undeniable proof of her identity and sending him to the execution chamber. Even more powerful than hidden biology is the human will to survive. On a November night in 1984, a prolific serial killer named Bobby Joe Long abducted a 17-year-old girl named Lisa McVeigh. While blindfolded and held captive for 26 hours, McVeigh systematically built a case against him. She memorized the route they traveled, intentionally planted fingerprints in his bathroom, and successfully manipulated him, pretending to be his secret girlfriend, convincing him to release her. Her precise situational awareness gave police exactly what they needed to track him down, leading to his arrest just 13 days later. Decades later, Lisa McVeigh, now a master deputy with the local sheriff's office, sat in the witness room and watched him face execution. An attacker can easily assess someone's physical size or isolation. They can never measure the sheer depth of an individual's psychological resilience. The unifying thread connecting every one of these failed crimes is a profound, blinding arrogance. It is the mistake of looking at another human being and seeing a simple, two-dimensional object waiting to be exploited. True capability rarely advertises itself on the surface. Elite combat training, deep technological mastery, and raw psychological endurance are largely invisible traits. These instances offer a stark reminder of the unbreakable complexity carried by everyday people. Assuming you are the most dangerous person in the room is a guaranteed way to orchestrate your own downfall. It is the exact miscalculation that turns an easy mark into the absolute worst possible victim.